look up at the sky, ask it why are you all so afraid?
What is up, everyone? My name is Andrea. If you don't know me, you should subscribe because, like, why not? You should also hit the notification bell down below to be notified every time I upload a new video, as soon as I upload a new video. But anyway, today I'm going to be doing my August wrap up because August slipped away like a moment in time, as we all know, said by the lovely Taylor Swift. Anyway, so I read 11 books in August, and that is probably my best month. Like, I think I read 10 one month this year, but 11, I completely passed it, and I have never done that good before. So I'm very excited, and I'm very happy. And not to mention, I read some great books, like literally some of my favorite books. I know they're gonna be my favorites of the year. I read them in August. So this was just such a good reading month. I'm so excited. Let's dive into them. Okay, so the first one I read was Gods and Monsters by Shelby Mahurin, the third and final book in the Serpent and Dove trilogy. I ended up giving this book 4 stars, but I honestly, after a month of, deliberating about it, I think I would give it like 3 or 2. It wasn't that good. It really wasn't good. But I only really enjoyed it. That was my dog squeaking his toy. I only really enjoyed it because I got to be with the characters, and the characters are funny. I really love them. They're kind of what makes the book for me. The plot is like non-existent. It's really not there. But the characters, I do like them. And so I was reading this for them, and it still lacked in that department. So it was honestly a disappointment. Gave it 4, but could have been a 3 or a 2. I also have a review on this one. I'll link it up here or up there, I don't know where it is, and down in the description below, so you can check that out if you want to hear me talk more in depth about my firsthand, right when I finish, feelings on Gods and Monsters. Okay, so then I read Daughter of the Pirate King by Tricia Levenseller. This book was so good. Let me tell y'all, let me put you on. This book is older, but if you've never read it, it's so good. It's all about this girl who is the daughter of a pirate king, obviously. Her name is Alosa, and what happens is she basically gets herself on an enemy ship held hostage, but really she has her own plan. She literally got herself caught on purpose, and she basically has plans to undermine her enemy and steal a map that is on their boat. And she's just so clever. Like, Alosa is one of my favorite characters for sure now, and I love Tricia Levenseller. I read The Shadows Between Us by her before a couple months ago, and you probably remember me raving about it because I really love that book. So I think Tricia Levenseller is just one of my new faves. Like, she's just so talented, and this book just blew me away. I gave it 5 stars, I'm pretty sure. If I gave it 4, I'll put it here, but I'm pretty sure I gave it 5, and I really loved it so much. So that was just like the best thing. After reading Gods and Monsters, I was kind of like, eh. Reading this, I was like, yes, I have hope. There's hope in the world. Then I read Golden Sun by Pierce Brown on audio. I listened to Red Rising last month in July, and so of course I had to keep going with Golden Sun, and I obviously gave it 5 stars. I love Red Rising. I don't have to tell you guys again because you already know. Like, literally, look at my little Darrow right here. I love Red Rising. It's literally so good. But Golden Sun, the first time I read it, it was definitely not my favorite, and I think the first time I read it, I gave it 4 stars, and I remember not liking it as much as the first one and kind of being underwhelmed. But the second time, I feel like I really grasped a lot more, and like, there were so many more monumentous things that stuck out to me the second time than the first time, and that's just incredible to me that I was still blown away by this book even more than the first time I read it. And it was so good. Like, I have a newfound appreciation for Golden Sun. I don't know what else to say. I just love it. So then I read Daughter of the Siren Queen by Tricia Levenseller, and this is the sequel to Daughter of the Pirate King. And this one, I can't really tell you what it's about because there's like minor spoilers, I guess. But this one, we're back with Alosa, we're back with some other characters that we met in the first book. We're kind of wrapping up some loose ends. Few secrets are involved, revealed, stuff like that. I will say this one I gave 4 stars because it was kind of less. Like, I was expecting it to be up there with the first one, and it definitely wasn't. And since Tricia Levenseller likes to write duologies, like this one was the final book and there's only 2 in the series, I feel like that's almost what caused this book to be a little bit lackluster to me. I just think that it was missing some things, and there wasn't a lot of time to develop more of the world. But I still really loved it. Like, the characters are like A1, the plot was there, and it's good. So 4 stars, and I was really happy with it. Then I read We Hunt the Flame by Hafsa Faizal, and this is literally gonna be one of my favorites. I already know. This is one of the best books I've read ever, so definitely gonna make my top books for the year. But I even went through and was like highlighting a bunch of stuff in it because that's just how much I loved it. Like, I don't know, it was just so good, and I wasn't expecting it to be that good. That was the best part. But so this book is all about Nasir, who is the Prince of Death. Basically, he kills for his father, who is the king, and then we have Zafira, who is the huntress, and in her village or her part of the kingdom, there is a forest called the Ars, and it's this magical thing that showed up and basically sucked out all the magic of the kingdom. And also, like, nobody can go in there, nobody can get past it. If you go in there, you die. But Zafira can go in there, and she gets all her people food and, like, is the huntress and brings life to her people. So Nasir and Zafira's worlds collide whenever they're both looking for this lost artifact to bring back magic to the world. And that is where we are. And, you know, I feel like going into this one, you should just go in blind because there's so many cool things that happen with this one. I buddy read this with me, obviously, with my friends Lisa and Therese. I'll have them linked down below. You should check them out. But we just had so much fun. I did finish it a lot faster than them, but that's my fault because I have no patience. And whenever they finally finished, I'm so glad they agreed. I think we all gave it 5 stars, and we all loved it and freaked out about the characters, and it was a great time. So I feel like I'm always gonna have good memories associated with We Hunt the Flame, and it was just so good anyway. Okay, so then I read The Subtle Knife by Philip Pullman. This one is the second book in the Golden Compass trilogy. I don't know. Oh, the Dark Materials trilogy. His Dark Materials, I'm sorry. I gave this one 3 stars. It was okay. It wasn't my favorite. I think I liked the first one more, but I do like the new character Will that was introduced, and I really did like him. And I was like kind of like upset at the ending because I need to know what's gonna happen, and it was just a lot. But I also love Lyra. Like, she is such a cool character. I think she's one of my favorite characters, even though I don't like the series that much. Like, it's not a favorite. I do like her as a character a lot more than I like other characters. So this one was a pretty chill read, and I'm glad I read it so I can get to the last one. Also, Sarah, if you're watching this, you're welcome. I'm getting through his Dark Materials. I told you I would. I promised, and I keep my promises. Anyway, next I read We Were Liars by E. Lockhart. I gave this one 2 stars, I think. Very rightly so. It wasn't that good. Honestly, the writing, the plot twist, Ollie is barking. It's pretty much about this girl who goes on vacation like she does every summer with some of her friends, and something bad happens, so she kind of becomes traumatized, but she doesn't remember what happened. And so she's trying to figure that out throughout the whole book, and it's told in like flashbacks. I gotta go see what my dog's barking about, but 2 stars. It wasn't that good. Okay, if I'm talking fast, it's because my phone is about to die. Literally about to die. But next, I read The Wrath of the Dawn by Renee Ahdieh. I gave this one 4 or 5 stars. I think I gave it 4, maybe 5. I don't know. But I really loved this book too. It was so good. I'd heard about it for a long time, and I'm really glad that I picked it up because I really enjoyed it. Basically, what's going on in this one is our main character named Shazi. She pretty much vows revenge on the king because the king does this little thing where every day, pretty much, he takes a new wife and kills them at dawn. And, you know, that sounds really bad, but there's like a lot to unpack there. And so Shazi, once, you know, her best friend dies, she's like, you know what, I'm just gonna kill the king. To save everyone from this misery that I went through, I'm just gonna kill him. So she sets out to do that, and what happens after that is kind of a wild ride, but I really enjoyed it, and I did like that this book was pretty romance heavy. Pretty much it. The plot was there too, and like I can see in the end book too how the plot will come in more, but this one was romance heavy, and I'm okay with that. Like, just give me a little fantasy, a little political intrigue, a little war, but give me the romance first and foremost. So that's what I got here, and I really did like it. Then I finished Morning Star by Pierce Brown on audio once again. I did reread this one. 5 stars, teared up. I finished it at the gym at 6 a.m. and that was just not the move. Like, it was not the thing to do because I was emotional, and I was working it out, and I was surrounded by like sweaty people, and like they didn't care. But anyway, I love Morning Star. I think it is such a good wrap up to that part of the story. I know that Iron Gold and Dark Age add on to the story, which I haven't read. Don't tell me anything. I'm gonna read it this month. That's why I was rereading. But Morningstar, it's a good ending. It's non-stop, action-packed, war after war after war, like reveals, big reveal at the end. It's good. It's phenomenal. It's everything. It's everything to me. It is. Then I read The Last True Poets of the Sea by Julia Drake. I think I gave this 3 stars. I didn't really like it too much. I remember hearing this from another YouTuber, and I was like obsessed with that YouTuber, and I wanted to read everything that they had read. So I remember always wanting this. So when I finally got it, I took like a year to read it, and now I'm kind of like, it's a contemporary. We all know that's not my thing, but I was gonna give it a shot anyway. And I think it did like talk about some important topics and stuff, which is really good. But overall, I just didn't like it. So in this one, there is a town called Lyric, and there was a woman who was the sole survivor of a shipwreck like a long, long time ago. And we find Violet, our main character. Is her name Violet? Yeah, her name's Violet. So we find our main character Violet dealing with like a shitty part of her life. Like a lot of things are going wrong within herself. Like she's acting out, doing some bad things. Her brother Sam also tried to commit suicide, trigger warning for that. So she's just like going through it, and her whole family is. So she gets sent to Lyric, and there she's gonna go ahead and try to like keep her mind off of the things that she's done and start fresh. So what is she gonna do? She's gonna try to find her family's lost shipwreck and find out more about it, and find out more about her great-great-grandma, and find the actual ship. So she's working through her feelings pretty much this whole book. And the author also uses like the shipwreck as kind of like a metaphor for what goes on. I don't know. I see what she was doing. I see why this is an important book, but I just didn't like it. And I think that it was kind of slow, and a lot of things like she wrote, I feel like didn't need to be in there. Like she could have focused more on the character than like what the character was doing. Like I'd rather know about her feelings and how she's changing and stuff than the fact that she is teaching kids at this aquarium because she has to work there, and she's like singing them songs and like giving me the song. Like I don't need that. I don't need all that. But it wasn't really that bad. I'm not trying to rant. I just didn't like it too much. Finally, I finished my audio reread of Queen of Shadows. As you know from my other wrap-ups, I am working through this one again. I think this is the 2nd time I've reread it this year, so that means it's like my 3rd or 4th reread overall, which is crazy. But I really love Throne of Glass, and I really love Selena. Her character just means a lot to me. So I finally finished the audiobook. I've been working on it for like since last month, so I only had a little bit left. Somebody thankfully put it back on YouTube for free, so I watched it or listened to it on there. That's the only way I can listen to it because I'm not gonna pay for the audiobook. But yeah, I gave it 5 stars because reread, obviously. But I really did like Queen of Shadows. I think the ending is like a big ending. Like out of all the books, it's one of the bigger like climactic endings. So that was cool. And I love it. Yeah. And I can't wait for Empire of Storms because that's my favorite out of the whole series. And I'm going to read that hopefully next month if I can find it for free on audio. But that's all the books I read in August. Let me know down below what your favorite read of August was, or if you read any of these before, let me know. I will have all my social media linked down below, my Instagram, my Twitter, my Depop, all that stuff. I also have a few ways that you can help support the channel. So I have my Amazon wishlist down below in the description if you want to send me a book. And I also have a Ko-fi where you can donate money to me or buy me a coffee, and that will all go back into my channel, so I really appreciate it. But that's all I have to say, so I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!
Forget about all types of things. You remind me of the Arizona thunder. Satisfy the times and make you wonder about the bigger picture in your life. The simple times in the Arizona